Here we have another video on the most important concept from class 10, surface areas and volumes. Basic idea for all these solids or 3D shapes is already done earlier. In fact, in class 9 we did complete derivation for some of the formulas. And in class 10 we would be dealing with combination of these solids. So let's begin. 6 basic shapes on which the whole chapter is based are cube, cuboid, right circular cylinder, right circular cone, sphere and hemisphere. You see this table. This table has been just provided to recapitulate what we did in class 9. Over here you would see the formulas for volumes, lateral surface area or curved surface area and total surface area. You just have a look how the formulas derivation we did last year. Similarly, we have for the next set, which is right circular cone, sphere and hemisphere. Now on the basis of these formulas, as I have already shared with you, we would not be dealing with the shapes individually. We have to deal with the combination of these solids. So on the basis of the combination of solids, questions can be one solid converted to another or one solid surmounted by another. So let's take up one question and see. Question is, a cubical block of side 7 cm is surmounted by a hemisphere. What is the greatest diameter the hemisphere can have? Find the surface area of the solid. Question 4 from exercise 13.1 says, there is a cubical block. As you can see, there is a cubical block. It is surmounted by a hemisphere. Block which is cubical has got edge 7 cm. On the top of this cubical block, a hemisphere is placed. The question says, what is the greatest diameter the hemisphere can have? Undoubtedly, whatever is the edge of this cube, that much diameter hemisphere can have. So your first part, greatest diameter hemisphere can have, greatest diameter hemisphere can have must be equal to the edge of cube, which is 7 cm. Okay, now find the surface area of the solid. Surface area of this complete solid. This solid comprises of a cube and a hemisphere. But when you talk about surface area, it would be surface area of solid. It can't be surface area of cube plus surface area of hemisphere. It has to be seen according to the total shape. In totality, what do you observe? We have one full cube over here. So we say surface area of cube, surface area of cube. I'll just write SA. Surface area of cube added to. On from the top you observe this region. What is this? This is curved surface area of hemisphere. CSA of hemisphere. Alright. So two things are done. But observe that face or that surface where this hemisphere is placed. That is the top view. This is how the top view of this surface would look like. Square, because cube has all sides, all edges equal. So from the top, if you observe this surface or this face of a cube, it looked like a square, and in the interiors of this square there is a circle. What circle is this? This is actually, this region is actually formed by base of hemisphere, because hemisphere when placed, this region is covered in the interiors. So these ends remain out. from the four corners, these ends remains out. So in totality, surface area of cube will be taken into account, curved surface area of hemisphere is taken into account, but something which has to be subtracted, that something is area of base of hemisphere minus area of base of hemisphere. I'm sure this much is clear to everyone. Now just put the values, put the formulas first of all. Surface area of cube is 6 side square, 6a square, where a is, what is the value of a? A is 7. Plus CSA of hemisphere 2 pi r square. What would be r? Diameter we know is 7, so radius would be 7 by 2 minus area of base of hemisphere. Base of hemisphere is pi r square. In the next step, 6, 7 square. Can we simplify these two? 2 pi r square minus pi r square would be actually pi r square, isn't it? Now put the value 6, 7 square. 6, 7 square. Pi is 22 by 7. R square. R is 7 by 2 centimeters. So 7 by 2 into 7 by 2. Solving this is 6 into 49. Cancelling these two, this is 77 by 2, which makes it 38.5. So finally it becomes 294 added to 38.5, and this is 332.5 centimeter square. So this is the total surface area of the solid. Okay, remember, total surface area cannot be just TSA of hemisphere plus TSA of cube. It has to be seen how the final shape looks like, what surfaces, what faces are visible to us. Just add those areas. Next question is, a hemispherical depression is cut out from one face of a cubical wooden block such that the diameter L of the hemisphere is equal to the edge of the cube. Determine the surface area of the remaining solid. Now our next question is related to this, and I would say over there it was surmounted, there was extra portion which was visible, cube was on the bottom, hemisphere was placed on its top, but now there is a hemispherical depression. Now see what difference would be there in the surface area. Do you think there would be any difference? Let us see. The hemispherical depression which is made up has got diameter L units. Diameter of hemisphere is equal to this edge of cube, it's mentioned in the question. Both are L units. Okay, question remains same. Surface area of, it says surface area of the remaining solid. Remaining solid, why remaining word is used here? Because some amount is taken out. That wood has been, if it's wooden, is it wooden? Yeah, it's wooden cubical block. From here some portion of wood goes out. So what is the remaining solid with us? Undoubtedly, first thing is surface area of cube. We have that whole cube as such. Surface area of cube remains there. Added to this depression which is made in the interiors is due to curved surface area of hemisphere. And what is curved surface area of hemisphere? We know that is 2 pi r square. So that curved surface area which in earlier part was on the top, has now came inside that wooden block. So that would also be added. CSA of hemisphere would be added. Next step, observe the change on the top surface. Top surface, which is a square, depression is taken out. How the top view would be? It is, this is base of hemisphere. So this would be subtracted again, minus area of hemispherical base. Okay, let us now put the value. Surface area of cube is 6, side square, side is L square. Surface area of cube 6L square plus CSA of hemisphere, which is 2 pi r square. Diameter if is L, radius would be L by 2. So L by 2 whole square minus area of hemispherical base, which is pi r square. So pi, put the value of r, L by 2 whole square. And in the next step, simplification, 2 pi L by 2 square minus pi L by 2 square would make it pi L by 2 square. Solving it further, this is 6L square pi L square by 4. Bring this L square common, take out LCM. This is 24 plus pi, or it becomes L square by 4 pi plus 24 square units. So this much is the total surface area of the remaining solid once the depression is taken out. Another important question, a wooden article was made by scooping out a hemisphere from each end of a solid cylinder as shown in the figure. If the height of the cylinder is 10 cm and its base is of radius 3.5 cm, find the total surface area of this article. Another very important question, a wooden article was made up by scooping out hemisphere from each end of a solid cylinder. You see this figure, there is a solid cylinder and hemispherical ends are taken out from the top as well as from the bottom. If the height of the cylinder is 10 cm, the total height of cylinder starting from here, this total height is 10 centimeters and its base is of radius 3.5, base radius r is 3.5 centimeters. Okay, whatever is the base of cylindrical part would be the base of hemispherical part. So if base radius of cylinder is 3.5, so would be the base radius for hemispherical part. So their radius is equal. Radius of hemispherical ends is equal to radius of cylindrical part, and that radius is 3.5 centimeters, and h is given, height is given 10 centimeter. Now what is the surface area of this article? This complete shape, its surface area is required. In totality, when you observe this shape, it would be this curved surface area of cylinder is clearly there, CSA of cylindrical part. Alright. But since depression, hemispherical depression goes out, so this depression is due to CSA of hemisphere, and same is the case at the bottom. So can we say twice of CSA of hemisphere? Perfect. So put the value CSA of cylindrical part 2 pi. What is R? Put the value straight away. R is 3.5. What is H? It's 10. Twice of pi r square. Radius for these two would also be same. CSA of hemisphere is 2 pi r square. Since we are taking two such hemispheres, so it becomes 4 times. 2 into 2 pi r square would become 4 pi r square. Solve this, put the values. Pi is 22 by 7. This is 3.5. This is 10 and 4. Another 22 by 7. 3.5 square. Solving this, cancel this. This is 0.5. This is also 0.5. Product of these. Multiply all these, finally add both. So let's make the calculation a little easier. Whatever can be taken common, bring it out. 2 comes common, pi comes common, 1 r, because this is 3.5, this is 3.5 square, so 1 r comes common. What remains in? From here 10 remains in, from here 2 and 3.5. Perfect. Okay, 2 into 22 by 7 into 3.5, and this is 10 plus 3.5 into 2 would be 70 and 7. Cancel this, this is 0.5. Product of these two with 0.5 would be 22 into their sum is 17, and product of both will be 374. So this is the total surface area of the solid of this article once the hemispherical ends are taken out. I'm sure this must be clear to everyone. Now we are taking up questions on combination of solids. We would be dealing with their volumes. Question is, Rachel, an engineering student, was asked to make a model shape like a cylinder with two cones attached at its two ends by using a thin aluminum sheet. Diameter of the model is 3 cm and its length is given 12 cm. If each cone has a height of 2, find the volume of air contained in the model that Rachel made. Question number 2 is on volumes of combination of solids. So here we see one engineering student was asked to make a model which comprises of cylinder in the middle and conical ends. The total length of the model was 12 cm and conical ends is 2 cm each. So from there we can easily make out that cylindrical part would have the length 8. So 8 in the middle, 2 and 2 on both ends would make the total length of this model as 12 centimeter. Diameter of base of cylinder as well as cone is 3 centimeter each. So volume of this model will be volume of cylinder added to volume of twice the volume of cone. Now we know the formula to calculate volume of cylinder. It's pi r square. I'm using capital H for height of cylinder. Height of cylinder is 8 centimeter and small h for cone, which is 2 centimeter. And radius is same for both, which is 3 by 2. Since diameter is 3, so radius would be 3 by 2. Volume of cone is 1/3 of pi r square h. Since there are two cones, so it's 2 into 1/3 of pi r square h. Put the values, bring this pi and r square common. Pi r square remains out. It's h plus 2 by 3 h. Substitute the values and you are done with it. Pi should be taken as 22 by 7. We'll put this value at the end. Or okay, just put it here, 22 by 7. R square, r is 3 by 2, 3 by 2. And h, capital H is 8. 2/3 of small h is 2. Solving this whole, cancel this, solve, this is 99 by 14 and 8 plus 4 by 3, so this is 99 by 14, 3, 24 plus 4, 99 by 14, 28 by 3, cancel this, so 66 cubic centimeters. The volume of this complete model would be 66 cubic centimeters. So 66 cubic centimeter of air can be contained in this model. Another important question, a vessel is in the form of an inverted cone. Its height is 8 cm and the radius of its top, which is open, is 5 cm. It is filled with water up to the brim when lead shots, each of which is a sphere of radius 0.5 cm, are dropped into the vessel. 1/4 of the water flows out. We need to find out the number of lead shots which were dropped in the vessel. Question number 5 from exercise 13.2 says, there is a vessel which is conical, its inverted cone, and its height is 8 cm. It's open from the top, radius of this top is 5 centimeters. It is filled with water up till brim, till top it's filled with water, and then certain number of spherical lead shots are dropped in this vessel. When lead shots are dropped, some amount of water which is inside it flows out. Now that what is that amount of water which flows out? That water is, when lead shots are dropped inside this vessel, 1/4 of volume of cone, this conical vessel, 1/4 of volume of cone or volume of water contained in it flows out. So let us see how many such lead shots are put inside the vessel. For that, we need the volume of this one lead shot. We'll multiply it by those n number of lead shot. We don't know how many shots are thrown. So let the lead shots are n in number. We don't know how many are these, so we are assuming them as n. Radius of lead shot, I'll be taking small r for radius of lead shot. It's given 0.5 centimeter, and radius of vessel, this is for lead shot, and this is for vessel which is conical. I'm taking it as capital R. This one is 5 centimeter, and height of vessel, height is h, which is 8 centimeter. Now volume of water, which spilled out is equal to volume of dropped. It is due to those lead shots only that water drops or spills out. So volume of water spilled is actually 1/4 of volume of cone, and volume of dropped lead shots n times volume of one lead shot. put the values. Volume of cone is 1/3 of pi capital R square into h, n times volume of one lead shot, 4/3 pi small r cube. On simplifying this becomes, let's cancel pi and pi from both ends. So simplifying this is 1/4 into 1/3. Put the value of r, which is 5 square into 8. Put this 3 here. Bring the 4 down. Bring this r cube down. R, which is 0.5 cube. Okay, everything is brought on one end and this is equal to n. Cancel 3 with 3. Cancel this 4. And yeah, this becomes 25 upon 2 into 0.5 cube. And further, when you put it in the simplified form, you would see this goes off, this is cancelled, and n comes out to be 1000 upon 2 into 5. 2 from here and this 5. So n is 100. 100 such lead shots were thrown in, and because of those 100 lead shots, 1/4 of water spilled out. I'm sure this must be clear.